The film starts with a woman named Lena walking along the beach. She is deep in thought about something. Lena is a 30-year-old obstetrician gynecologist. She lives a good and fulfilled life as both her colleagues and patients admire her. She is married to Sergey, a loving and caring husband who works as an actor in a drama theater. They have a pretty normal but dull marriage. Lena is busy with work and does not interfere with Sergey's affairs, nor does Sergey interfere with Lena's. At home, Sergey talks to Lena about his problems with the theater director, complaining to her about the director's attitude and methods. Lena listens intently and reassures him that he'll do great anyway. One night, Lena sees a text message on Sergey's phone. It was from Katya, Sergey's colleague, fellow actor, and scene partner. The text messages make Lena suspicious that Sergey is having an affair with Katya. The next morning, Lena offers to drive Sergey to work, but he declines. She then watches him leave from their apartment window, and she watches him get inside someone else's car. This and other significant changes in Sergey's behavior at home and their lack of sexual activity fuels her suspicions further. At her clinic, Lena asks her partner Ivan if she can take a few days off work, and he agrees. As the workday progresses, Lena meets with Nikki, one of her patients. Nikki expresses her desire to have a child and asks Lena for help. After work, Lena drives directly to a local club and goes partying alone. After a while, she calls Sergey and lies to him that she will not be home for a while because of work, and he believes her. She goes back to the party and meets a young man. They end up drinking on the beach at dawn while she listens to him talk about the time someone stole his boat and was too drunk to catch the thief. Not long after, he starts kissing her and she asks him if they can go somewhere private instead. They end up in a bed and breakfast and they spend the night there, unsatisfied with her exploits. Lena leaves in the morning and arrives home to find Sergey sleeping alone. She tries to initiate sexual contact with him but he declines and she retreats to the bathroom to wash up. The next day, Lena watches Sergey's theater show and gets visibly jealous as she watches her husband kissing his scene partner, Katya, whom she thinks he's having an affair with. At the after party, Lena stands in the corner alone, feeling out of place. Sergey tells her that they can go home early but she tries to convince him to enjoy himself and get drunk with his colleagues since it's their premiere night. As the couple are talking, Katya approaches them to say goodbye. Lena tells her that she can ride with them as they are leaving anyway but Katya declines since a taxi is already waiting for her downstairs. But Lena insists. The actress ends up riding home with them, which makes Sergey uncomfortable. While Lena is driving, Sergey gives her directions to Katya's house, fueling her suspicions even more. The next day, Lena follows Sergey to work. While she's driving, she watches Sergey and Katya walking together, occupied with following her husband, her eyes away from the road. Lena gets into a minor car accident and had to get her car fixed. As she's walking out of the garage, a car follows her. She turns back to find an elderly guy driving and he asks her if he can take her with him. She agrees and they end up sleeping together inside his car. Lena then leads them to the beach where they are caught by the police. The older man runs away but Lena stays. The police gave her a warrant but ultimately let her go. At home, Lena has just taken a shower and is blowing her hair when Sergey walks in, still thinking that he's having an affair. Lena acts cold towards him. He tells her that he's free the next weekend and they can take a vacation. But sensing her behavior, they get into an argument. However, the argument is short-lived because Sergey apologizes immediately. At work, Lena sees Nikki with her husband Vadim. Lena is shocked to realize that Vadim was the same guy she spent the night with on the beach before getting caught by the police. Vadim finds Lena alone in her office and he tries to apologize to her but she asks him to leave. Instead, he tries to sexually assault her but Lena fights back. The encounter leaves Lena restless and devastated. She then recollects herself and leaves the office. While she's waiting for a taxi, her colleague Ivan offers to drive her home and she accepts. On the drive home, Lena asks Ivan to stop by Katya's house and finds Sergey there, helping Katya with her furniture. Thinking that this confirms her suspicions, she asks Ivan to drive off. Lena stays at Ivan's house for dinner and he tells her to talk to Sergey. She declines, telling him that it's useless and that she wouldn't know what to do if Sergey confirms that he is, in fact, having an affair. Ivan tells her that she should do it anyway. She then asks Ivan about his own marriage since he was also cheated on by his ex-wife. He recounts how his ex-wife told him about her affair. He also tells her how he cheated on his wife right after. When Lena asks him why he did it, he simply says that it's inevitable since people are imperfect. Because of this conversation, Lena and Ivan form an unusual bond between two people who have both cheated and had been cheated on. Ivan tries to kiss her but Lena moves away, awkwardly ending their moment. The next day Ivan and Lena head to the beach. On the drive, she receives a message from Vadim containing explicit images, but she turns off her phone immediately before Sergey can see it. They arrive at the beach and Lena tries to talk to Sergey about their marriage. Sergey tells her that he's been sensing Lena losing attraction towards him and she replies that she's been sensing the same thing from him. He tells her that no sex is better than passionate sex and they start to argue. She finally asks him if he's having an affair but he tells her no. She asks him about the car she saw from their window a few weeks back and he tells her that it was another friend who offered to drive him to the theater. She asks him about Katya and he tells her that their text messages are nothing but ordinary correspondence from two colleagues. He then eschews her that nothing is going on with him and Katya, and that if there ever was, he would have added a password on his phone, which he didn't. Realizing how wrong she was, Lena starts crying. Sergey hugs her and the couple make up. At home, Lena checks the mail and finds one from the police. She reassures Sergey that she will call them that day and settle the fine. Sergey then leaves for work, hugging Lena and telling her that he loves her. Finally, alone, Lena blocks Vadim as she's still getting messages from him begging her to see him. The next day, Lena gets a call from Sergey asking her to cook dinner before he gets home. She then heads out to buy groceries but forgets her keys. Instead of calling Sergey, she decides to get drunk while waiting for Sergey to arrive. Sergey lets a drunk Lena inside the house while she laughs at her situation. Sergey gets pissed and starts cooking dinner instead. At dinner, Sergey confronts Lena about why she wasn't at work that day, but she doesn't reply. The next day, Sergey walks into the bathroom while Lena is taking a shower. He confronts her about the lingerie he found hidden in her clothes, but she tells him that she is waiting for the right time to wear it. He then asks Lena to wear it and they do the dirty in the bathroom. That day at work, Lena's secretary informs her that one of her clients, Nikki, has canceled their appointment and has decided to look for a different doctor. While Lena is walking towards her office, she sees Nikki waiting for her in the hallway. Once inside the office, Nikki confronts Lena about her affair with her husband Vadim and informs Lena that she has left Vadim after finding out about the affair. She has found Vadim's messages to Lena and is furious that her own doctor would do that to her. Instead of defending herself, Lena talks back and tells Nikki that her husband doesn't even love her. Nikki then threatens to destroy Lena's reputation. After the encounter, Lena leaves her office crying. When she arrives home, she finds a drunk Sergey carrying a speaker while dancing around the living room. Sergey playfully takes Lena's phone only to find it locked with a password. He jokingly tells her that she must be hiding something from him, but Lena ignores him, trying to take her phone away from him. He finally gives the phone back to her and tries to lift her off the ground for a dance. She fights him off, accusing him of being drunk. He doesn't disagree with her. Instead, he asks her if she was drunk when she slept with her patient's husband. Surprised at the revelation that Sergey knew about her affair, Lena merely looks at him, waiting for him to say more. Sergey finally sobers up and the couple sit on the floor of their living room. Lena tries to explain the situation to him, but he refuses to listen, saying that it wouldn't make a difference anyway since she cannot erase her mistakes. She continues to tell him that after her car accident, she left the garage angry after she saw him with Katya. She was angry with him and decided to cheat on him with a stranger. Sergey asks her if she loved Vadim and she says no, telling him that she didn't even know who he was then. Sergey then proceeds to ask her details about her intimate interaction with her lovers, which prompts Lena to become even more upset. She tries to comfort him, but he wouldn't let her touch him. Finally, Sergey leaves, locking himself in the bedroom and tells Lena to leave. She leaves their apartment and spends the night at her clinic. The morning after, Lena meets with Ivan to talk about the accident with her patient Nikki. Expressing her desire to resign, she tells him about her affair with Vadim, but instead of reprimanding her, he congratulates her jokingly. Ivan asks her if she was in love with Vadim, but she tells him that it was merely an unfortunate accident. Ivan then tells her that he understands her situation and that he doesn't want her to resign. Lena insists, pushing her resignation letter forward for Ivan to sign, but he still doesn't sign it. Suddenly, the door to the office opens, revealing Sergey. He tells them that he wants to speak to Lena privately. Ivan agrees, telling him that they're done talking anyway, setting Lena's resignation letter aside. Outside, Lena and Sergey embrace, crying into each other's arms. The couple make up, finally bridging each other's differences and forgiving each other. On the drive home, Sergey suddenly asks Lena if she still thinks about sleeping with her former lovers again. Confused, Lena tells him that she thought they made up already, but it turns out that Sergey is still affected. Sergey continues to talk, but Lena stops the car and turns the music louder. In a different scene, could be a week or a month later, Lena is seen riding the bus to work. What do you think that ending meant? Did they stay together? Or did they break up? We don't really know and they leave it open-ended for you to figure out yourself. What did you guys think of this movie? Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like, it really helps the channel.